take off my blocker, my ugly mug, and get to it, shall we? So here you have it, round one between VM Crabling with the Warriors of Chaos against his clanmate, VM Soter and the High Elves. This is one of the quarterfinals of today's tournament, so we'll see which one of these two players proceed to the semis. As always, let me know if sound is good. I don't want it to be too quiet, too loud, all of the above for you. Now, starting with the forces of Chaos here in blue, let's see what they got for infantry first of all, and it looks like a pretty interesting line. We're going to have Chaos Marauders, one on either flank, and then a center for Forsaken. Now, one of them will be the ROR Demon Spew Forsaken, who do have that poison ability on top of them. They also have this lovely debuff to melee attack in the range nearby. Gonna have a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth backing them up for some heavy hitting anti-large support. And then on the left flank, it looks like we're gonna have some Poison Warhounds, Chaos Knights with the Lances. I love seeing this here. Such a good unit and not utilized enough in my opinion. We got Throwing Axes with Marauder Horsemasters and another unit of Horsemasters there on the right flank. Now, other than this, we're going to have the one, the only, Sartorial, the Everwatcher, going to be coming into battle, Final Transmutation, Plague of Rust, with the Scroll of Power, as well as Arcane Conduit and Standard Die. Now, coming over here to the High Elves, we're going to have the Heralds of the Wind, Valyrian Reaper Archers with a generic unit along with them. We're going to have the Fireborn, ROR Dragonborn here on the right flank. In the center, we're going to have 4 White Lines of Trace, pretty much a perfect counter to the infantry line being brought by Chaos here. However, one of these guys with an overcast Plague of Rust will bring him down to 30 armor, and then suddenly I think that combat will be a lot more even between the Forsaken and them. And then we're going to have Dragon Princes back here, so I think this High Elf army, so far the composition looking pretty good to deal with what is in front of them. Dragon Prince is going to be more than capable of cycling down the infantry, helping out, I think, the White Lines. And if the infantry of Chaos gets dealt with quickly, then obviously I think, the White Lines of Trace combined with Dragon Princes will be able to drag down the Shaggoth and the Chaos Knights. So, going to be an interesting fight, but I think Chaos is going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage off the bat here. Going to have a Noble down on the ground for that High Elf leadership, naked on top of a horse. And then we're going to have Alariel the Radiant on top of her steed. Got the Star of Averlorn, Shield of Thorns, Earth Blood, along with the Arcane Conduit, Shieldstone of Isha, the Boon of Isha, and the Shield of Sapri with Life Bloom. As you can see, High Elves continuing to just whittle away at the Chaos lines for right now. Looks like they're sending out some of their infantry. We will see if they decide to take these engagements, and at this point they have to commit to the engagements, otherwise they're not going to get it. Looks like Chaos. Ooh, a nice little intro charge with the Shaggoth, followed up by the Demon Spew Forsaken, who are going to counter charge off unopposed. Meanwhile, looks like the High Elf's going to be trying to refuse this right flank a little bit, pull back, and then turn around and charge into the Forsaken. We're just getting torn to pieces by the White Lines of Trace. Those great axe wielding infantry just going to be perfectly suited to dealing with the High Elf infantry. However, with the help of some terror, and the Forsaken over here are doing much better. However, as you can see, a lot of them are on their last leg on the far right, left flank for the High Elves. The Dragonborn coming in for a devastating charge, going to be doing a lot of damage there and routing off some of the Forsaken. Meanwhile, over here, though, going to see these White Lines of Trace are going to get terror routed, but they still did a ton of damage to the Forsaken. But now the Chaos Knights with the Hero Doom Squad is going to be enough to finish them off. And right now, balance of power relatively even. A little bit Chaos had favored, and I have to agree at this point. It looks like the Chaos player here, Crabling, doing a very good job with his terror units, diving around into combat where I think the High Elves would clearly be winning, but using those terror routes to tip the scale, and then the Forsaken are fast enough to keep chasing after the White Lines, so they shatter or route up the map. Over here, Star of Averlorn going down, but look at this. The Fireborn taking a ton of damage. I mean, the heals are there, but Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and Sartorial seem to have done quite a number with the Chaos Knights in here too. Chaos Knights, absolutely no chumps. They do great going toe-to-toe with Dragon Princes as long as they have their charge bonus popped. But right now, things are starting to look pear-shaped for the High Elves. As you can see, their infantry line has all but disappeared. All of the skirmish power of the Chaos Forces are unopposed right now and just pouring in fire from the flanks. The Fireborn are routing, and the other unit of Dragonborn are getting close to routing too. So unless something happens really quick, I think our Chaos player will have a victory over the High Elves. Over here, Chaos Knights regrouping, coming back into the fray, and it looks like they might be charging into the Heralds of the Raven. Or Heralds of the Wind, sorry. And now it's just going to be Sartorial and his Shaggoth in a big blob, which they like to be in, especially when you have the final transmutation in your back pocket, and everything on the peripheries is just slowly being won by Chaos overall. Chaos Marauders able to provide a little bit of a competitive edge here against these Illyrian River Archers, so the Horse Masters are able to win that combat. Sartorial, once again, just doing some good charge animations, being microed well in and out of combat to different pockets of resistance, and since all these Chaos units are just tied up in combat trying to eliminate these key units from Chaos roster, they can do nothing about the skirmish fire, and I think these skirmishers are just getting so much value as this battle progresses. I mean, it really helps a lot with the leadership debuffs to have that going down. Over here, Shaggoth getting low on health, about half health right now. Sartorial is alone over here, getting teamed up on by the Noble as well as Alariel the Radiant. He is unbreakable though, and still very good on health, all things considered, so we'll see what happens. Chaos Knights are still in combat for a minute, but now they're getting chased by Illyrian River Archers with the Dragonborn, or sorry, the Fireborn. I always say Dragonborn, this isn't Skyrim. And we may be seeing the Chaos player looking like his position is becoming more precarious as we come into the late game here. They still have the edge in the balance of power, but you gotta remember that Alariel the Radiant is still here. She can still throw down some fat heals on top of the Noble and the Dragon Princes if the Chaos player gets lazy here. So time will tell. Alariel the Radiant taking a lot of damage, throwing down an Earthblood on top of her allies. Dragon Ogre probably needs to get out of here. If the Dragon Ogre goes down, I think that's really the key to path for victory for the High Elves here. They need to kill this this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth before it terror routes anything else in here, and that's really, you know, the main killing power in this Chaos army. So here comes that final transmutation though, and that is going to do a ton of damage to the High Elf forces here, and that's why I like seeing that spell brought against a High Elf army for Chaos, because you so often come up against, you know, Stars of Averlorn. Alariel's just a common pick, and having something to punish those blob tactics where the High Elf player is trying to heal as many units as possible, but then just throwing down those transmutations, especially in the late game, is absolutely devastating. And here, Terror kicking in on the Noble, and it looks like army losses will be going down, and Chaos is going to be winning the day. Those white lines of trace deciding, let's leave. We should just go.
All hope is lost.
Alariel diving into combat one last time. She's pinned in by Horse Masters and throwing axes. Sartorial's over here doing a nice charge. I imagine going to terror out these white lines quite quickly. And then there they go. Again, another devastating charge. Yeah, crazy TG, I broke my back, a rib, and my arm. Yeah, freak fapping accident. Sartorial greater than Alariel. Amen to that. Yeah, Sartorial, you can kill him in melee. It's all about finding a way to pin him in place, and usually you have to do that with mass. or some kind of nets, because he's just slippery is his problem. But if you can get him stuck in combat, he goes down pretty quickly. Missiles, you can do that too, but you really need to have a way to immobilize him like a net of a Mintok. And I don't recommend it because he does have 50% missile resistance. But yeah, hey Zero, good to see you, man. But that was a beautiful final trans right at the right moment. That Dragon Ogre was going down, but Crabling just staying calm. And I think recognizing that if he held in long enough to be able to pop that final transmutation, that would pretty much eliminate the remainder of those units that were fighting in the Star of Avalorn. So, very, very good game to both players, and a quick 1-0 lead going to Crabling. So, let's go ahead and see what the players bring for us next in round 2. Is going to be, as soon as I can get my game to load up, there we go, the Ogham Shard. And it's going to be round 2 between BM Crabling with the Greenskins versus BM Soter and the Wood Elves. This is match point for Crabling. He is up 1-0, so let's see if Soter can fight to stay alive. Very big Vanguard option map, so both factions strong in the Vanguard department, so we'll see what, if anything, is taken advantage of there. And, you know, Wood Elves, obviously a very strong kite faction, but against the Greenskins now with all their speed debuffs, can be a bit more risky than it was in previous installations of the Greenskins. Now, speaking of Greenskins and starting with them, we're going to see 3 Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Got some Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. Looks like 2 of them. One of them will be Durkit Squigs, the ROR with that missile resistance. In the back, we're going to have Savage Orc Boar Boys. Alright, so we got 3 of them. These guys can be good on the damage department, but they rely a lot on physical resistance, so if the ROR Wild Riders are here, or Deepwood Scouts or Swift Shards, these guys will have to watch out. I mean, even Dryads can cause them some trouble. Now, for the range contingent, we're going to have 5 units of archers. It's going to be 4 Orc Air Boys, and then 1 Night Goblin Archer, being the Rusty Air Regiment of Renown with Armor Sundering. Then we have a River Troll Hag. River Troll Hag will have Mither, Spirit Leech, along with Aspect of the Dread Knight. And then we're going to have Grom the Paunch. The Great Un is here, Language of the Boy, and the Lucky Banner. And now, let's not worry too much about the kit because this battle is underway and it is popping off hot. So over here, we're going to have Deepwood Scouts and Wild Riders. Looks like the Wild Riders are going to turn around and hit these Squigs, hit him hard. But now there's a ton of units coming in to support, such as the Savage Orc Boar Boys. And we'll see how it happens. I mean, right now the Wood Elf's not taking too much damage, but time can change that, no doubt. Over here, we're going to see a Spirit Leech on top of the Glade Lord, but it looks like the Glade Lord is going to ignore it and continue flying forward. And then over here, you're going to see just a rush happening on every side of the battlefield. Over here, you're going to see the Curse of Honor Hair pop down, a Sister to Thorn over here tanking this side of the battlefield form. Over here, a Wild Rider in combat, but it looks like the Greenskins figured out possibly what the Wood Elves were going to try to do, but as I say that, more Wild Rider action happening, and here comes another charge from these Wild Riders, and that's the ROR with a bonus versus large magical damage. So right now, interesting engagements across the field. It looks like the Wood Elves have an advantage so far, and over here, a big rout, the Glade Lord coming in, just cleaning up the Savage Orc Boar Boys and the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but they have taken a lot of damage in turn. And now we're going to see these units regroup, and now the Dragon Lord is going to come down again and try to get a terror rout going off. Over here, Wood Elves cleaning up the right flank too now by the looks of it. Got these Savage Orc Boar Boys getting routed by the Sisters of Slorin. The Wild Hunters of Kurnos are coming over to support as well. And now you're going to see that the Wood Elf Archers can have a little bit more breathing room for now, but the back lines are not looking good. The frontline engagements are not looking good for the Wood Elves now, as the Greenskins seem to have effectively, cast out any attacks on the rear to get all these Greenskin archers. But the battle is far from over yet, If these Wood Elves can get regrouped, if the Glade Lord can go find some more Wild Riders to get regrouped with, he may just be able to get something done. They just got to be careful. Over here, a Mither on top of the Dragon Lord. Going to slow him down significantly. And oh my goodness, he's going after Grom the Paunch, but Grom's pretty fast. And Dragon Lord will not be wasting all of his charge, though. He's going to get that route on top of the Savage Orc Biggins. And now more of the Wood Elf units are regrouped over here on the right side of our screen here, but I don't know. It just looks like the Wood Elves are having a tough time here. They've got some really good damage dished out there initially, but now it just seems like all the routed units are coming back to the field of battle to help out, and it's really going to be boiling down to whether this Glade Lord can do anything against Grom the Paunch, and Grom, with that passive regeneration, is doing just fine so far. Sisters of Thorn look like they may be going into their final engagement. Shield of Thorn's just wearing out, so now they'll be susceptible to all that damage coming in. And the Greenskin Archers are just kind of out shooting the Wood Elves right now, which is never a good sign if you're a Wood Elf player. Wild Hunters of Kurnos coming into the back lines here, getting on top of these Orc Boar Boys. In comes Savage Orc Boar Boys, though. And there goes the Spirit Leech on top of them, just add insult to injury. And now another Mither on top of the Glade Lord. He's just getting shot all over the place. But here comes a Breath, and this Breath can do a lot of work potentially. It's going to do a lot of damage to these archers, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to change the pace of this game. This Damsel, or sorry, the Spellsinger of Life only has Earthblood. Maybe with an Overcast Regrowth, they could get something going here. Oh, a big charge from the Glade Lord into Grom the Paunch, though. Not a successful follow-up charge, unfortunately. But as you can see, he's close to routing, but the River Troll Hag coming in here, smashing the Glade Lord in the back, may be enough to win the game here for the Greenskins. Glade Lord, oh, there she goes, routing. If she can survive, get up in the air, and keep chasing Grom the Paunch off, and that Spellsinger of Life can get one more heal down, then the Wood Elves could potentially bring this back. You have a unit of Dryads that's half health in here. You have pretty much all of the large units for the Greenskins at this point have officially been taken care of, but it's all about eliminating Grom the Paunch right now, but possibly more importantly about healing this Glade Lord as quickly as possible. Is that going to be an Overcast? Okay, so just a regular Earthblood going down there, but every little bit counts. And if that dragon can get back over here, the Wood Elves can win this. But he needs to get over here like yesterday, because Balance of Power is going out of his favor, and Grom the Paunch is healing up every moment that dragon isn't over here killing him. Over here, archers are going to continue firing at Grom the Paunch. He's taking some serious damage there. Looks like he's chasing the Spellsinger, but Spellsinger should be able to stay just ahead of him. And now the Glade Lord is coming back. Oh man, Wild Hunters of Kurnos just shattered. That's an unfortunate blow for the Greenskins. I mean, for the Wood Elves. But look at this, Grom the Paunch in combat. Spellsinger coming in to take his bite out of him. And now the Glade Lord is coming in. It looks like another Mither may be coming down here. Helm of Discord has been popped. And man, this battle, although the Balance of Power doesn't agree with me, is incredibly close. And oh, a big hit from the Damsel on top of Grom the Paunch. But big hit on top of the Damsel too. Oh, but Grom the Paunch just went down, folks. If the River Troll Hag, it's terror routing. The Balance of Power is going right back to dead even. Oh my goodness. Who conceded? What happened? Yes, it was a concession from the Greenskins. Crabling, as soon as that terror route kicked in and the River Troll Hag knew it was over and threw in the towel. And everybody here thought it was over. It ain't over till it's over, guys. That was a great game. Holy hell, what a great comeback to VM Soter. Fooling me, but I mean, I want to say I was keeping an open mind there until the end. I think I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm glad I did, because he clearly came back and won it. These Dryads were just randomly popping up in engagements. There was only one unit of them. The first time I saw them, there on the far right flank, helping kill off some orc boys. And then on the left flank, you know, charging into the archers, and that's when I was really like, oh, this could get bad for the greenskins, because you have all these dryads coming in now, and they didn't have enough, you know, squigs or anything at that point to kill the dryads, so he was really just relying on Garam and a bunch of archers to kill those dryads. But you can't underestimate terror against a greenskin build. You know, that's the big weakness of the greenskins pretty much across the board, with the exception of a few units, is like their leadership. And, you know, it just goes to show, if you have a couple key units still together, you can pull off a win, even when it seems quite insurmountable. So good job to Soter keeping his head clear there and keeping his eye on the prize, and, you know, bringing back a battle that I think most people thought was lost. Throwing up that intro card, we have Crabling with the Skaven taking on Soter and the Warriors of Chaos. It is a round 3 tiebreaker after the upset comeback from Soter last round with his Wood Elves versus the Greenskins of Crabling. So, time to see which of these forces of chaos will come out supreme. Will it be Khorne or the Great Horned Rat? Now, starting with Chaos, because it's nice and small, easy to go over, we're going to have 5 Forsaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man. This time Soter busting out the crazy Forsaken build. Maybe it's a clan thing. We're then going to have the Mirror Guard, the Regiment of Renowned Chaos Warriors. We're going to have Kolek, funnily enough. Not even going to have Sigvald over here leading the Mirror Guard into battle. You're going to have Kolek Suneater, who's going to have Stand or Die. Or is it Fight or Die? I can never remember. No, Stand or Die. We got Sorcerer of Death over here, who just moved on me. Gonna have Aspect of the Dread Knight, as well as Spirit Leech and Doom and Darkness. Looking for some terror routes indeed. Other than that, we're gonna have a generic Dragon Ogre Shaggoth on the right flank with some Gorebeast Chariot backing it up. And then the far left flank, we have another Gorebeast Chariot. So very interesting Chaos build. Very straightforward. Hit, hit, smash, smash, route, route. And then let's see what the Skaven have brought to deal with it. Now for the Skaven front line, Skaven Slave Spears. Looks like we're going to have 4 of them. We're going to have the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, Council Guard Stormvermin, and another unit of Stormvermin with Halberds. We're going to have 2 Clan Rat Spears in the back. And then we're going to see a quick Spirit Leech going down on top of the Poison Wind Mortars. I love this targeting. Spirit Leech is one of the best ways to take care of the Poison Wind Mortars, honestly. You're going to have a unit of Poison Wind Globadiers, some Rat Ogres, and then you're going to have a Hell Pit Abomination supporting an Assassin with the usual loadout, and Lord Skrulk with the usual loadout. Now, looks like those mortars are firing away. And we are going to be seeing them miss. Forsaken doing some nice dodging. These guys do have good speed at 46. And so as long as you're paying attention to the targeting of the Poison Wind Mortar, a good player can avoid the incoming damage. Regis, thank you so much for the follow. Over here, there we go. Another volley going down. Will the Forsaken be able to dodge it this time? Oh my goodness. Look at this precarious dance they do to avoid all these incoming bombs. Will they be able to avoid all of them, though? Oh, no. Calamity has struck. It can only dance so much, and it was clever to switch the target from the Forsaken to the Mirror Guard, since the Mirror Guard don't have as much speed to dodge. Over here, the Forsaken are now in the front line. As long as they get through it quick, they should be okay, but the Poison Wind Globadiers making some quick work of, of these Forsaken initially. Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers doing well against one unit, but will lose to the second unit. Over here we have Kolek Suneater versus the Hell Pit Abomination and an Assassin. He's going to decide to get the hell out of there. Assassin's Trophy popped on top of himself, but he has Stand or Die to counter it. Over here, the front line Forsaken are finally breaking through. And it looks like they're breaking through with a vengeance, and now they're going to be tying up Poison Wind Globadiers. There was one unit of them that I missed, apparently, and now the other unit is tying up the other unit of Poison Wind Globadiers. So over here on the right flank, the Mirror Guard have defeated them quite easily. Shaggoth dealing a ton of damage to the Storm Vermin, and the Gore Beast Chariots seem to be running amok in the back lines. One of them has lost one model, but other than that, they are all good to go. And if these Gore Beast Chariots don't get dealt with sooner rather than later, there isn't being nothing left of this Skaven infantry to, you know, face the forces of chaos. Rat Ogre's getting on top of these Gore Beast Chariots. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth coming in for a rear charge. Gonna see this chariot terror routing now. And we're also gonna see, oh, Rival High Talisman has gone down. Minus 40 melee attack to everything in this area. Kolek probably wants to get out of here. It looks like he's gonna be committing to this fight. And the Rival High Talisman is really going to make everything in this blob from the chaos side of things just really ineffective in combat. Rival High Talisman has still popped everybody, so these guys have been in combat this long with minus 40 melee attack, which is not where you want to be in a blob engagement. Poison Wind Mortars eliminating these Forsaken who haven't turned around to come back to the fight. Over here, Chaos getting a good rout. You can see a lot of the Skaven forces are routing at the moment. More summons coming in to help counter that. But right now, the damage that Kolek has taken is really troublesome, and he and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth need to get out of there. I mean, I feel like this is almost something where the Chaos player needs to send all of his units kind of out of this combat. Rod of Corruption is going down now, too. Alright, there goes a Doom and Darkness upgraded. Will that be enough to get any terror routes going off here? Over here, we have the Hell Pit Abomination getting double teamed by the Shaggoth and by Kolek. If they can keep that pressure up, maybe they can get something going here. Doom and Darkness still there. Will it last long enough? Hell Pit Abomination taking a lot of damage, but Kolek is taking the damage too, and the Assassin is on top of him. Assassin getting knocked back, but not before the balance of power is really going to go against Chaos here. Hell Pit Abomination coming in. Big hit on top of the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. And at this point, it looks like it's going to be a GG. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is going to start wavering. And the Assassin, the Council Guard are all over here. And it looks like we're going to have a GG. And a great, great series between these two BM clanmates, with Crabling taking the victory 2-1. Alright, let's update that scoreboard. Reflect the final result. And, I mean, I think both of these armies were very well made. I don't have a problem, really, with the Chaos Army. I'm not a big Kolek guy myself. That's just a personal preference thing. But I do think the big misplay here for Soter, and why I think it ended up going to Crabling, and always a thing that's easier said than done, is I just think the Shaggoths committed to big engagements with the Hell Pit Abomination way too quickly in the battle, and they just needed to be focused on staying on the peripheries of the fight, helping rout all of the Skaven chaff, and just like not even worry about going into the center. Because as soon as they got into the center, you know, that's when I saw Rival High Talisman, for instance. That was a long engagement, like 30 seconds or more of just committed engagement, where every Chaos unit in that blob had minus 40 melee attack. And things like that will definitely lose you a game, especially when it's like an engagement as important as trying to win the large fight, you know, with your Shaggoths eliminating the Hell Pit Abomination. Then they would have had a really good chance of winning it from there, even with the Storm Vermin there. I think given enough time, they can drag these guys down and win it from there. But great games. well played to both players, and a big shout out to Soter for putting up such a good fight and in that second round for that awesome comeback, and a big congratulations to Crabling for moving on to the semifinals in today's tournament.